I was touched, physically touched by something that was unseen.
Really weird. Is there someone here? And I'm a little bit creeped out.
Hey Crypt Keepers, thank you so much for tuning into Amy's Crypt. Today's video is going to get quite abstract. So I'm going to be talking to you all about an experience that I had recently that I never really believed in and never really thought that was ever going to happen to me. Basically, I was touched, physically touched by something that was unseen. And things get even weirder because there's a whole set of coincidences that triggered after this event that just get really weird and have to do with my eyes and my eyesight. So please bear with me here throughout this video. Just watch it through to the end to kind of get the gist of everything that I'm trying to convey to you all. So this all started a couple of weeks ago when I was invited to go and conduct a paranormal investigation at the Grand Lodge of the Freemasons here in Adelaide, South Australia, and I'm forever grateful for the privilege of being able to visit and film and investigate there. It was absolutely fantastic. I am so happy with how the videos that I filmed there turned out, and I have actually released them on my channel, so if you haven't gone and watched them yet, I'll link them below. Please go and check them out before watching this one because it kind of shows the history of this place, what the building is, the hauntings, and gives you a lot more background information. Plus, we actually picked up some really amazing evidence in both of those videos. I was so happy with how they turned out and what we captured. It was actually really exciting for me. So I wanted to create this video separately. What you'll hear in this video was not included in those first two. So I didn't want to include my personal experience in those because I almost didn't want to dilute those, because we did capture some amazing paranormal evidence and it is documented on camera. So I didn't want to add in this personal experience, which is kind of subjective and something that you can't visually see captured in the video. This is kind of like my experience and mine alone, so I wanted to sit down and go step by step what actually happened and what I experienced. Now, the other thing why I wanted to make this into a separate kind of video is because the events that triggered after me actually being touched, which are pretty weird, and I want you to hear me out on these as well. So if you have watched my videos on the Freemasons Grand Lodge, you will know that Jared and I went down into and investigated the basement area of the building. And I know the basement sounds creepy, but honestly guys, the basement down there, it is so beautiful. It's literally been used as a movie set, so grand and lovely. It is actually run right now as a cafe, so it's done up beautifully. So this area down there is said to be primarily haunted by Thomas Fax, who's a former Freemason, and yeah, he's said to haunt the building. So he's actually died about 40 odd years before this building was even made, which is interesting. And they say that he has kind of like come to the building through a portrait that is displayed down there in the basement. Now, I do want to note that Thomas Fax, he's never been known to be like evil, bad, or anything negative in any way. He's almost described as like a bit of a prankster, likes to kind of joke around. So nothing really dark or demonic down there has ever really been experienced by anyone. So what you guys wouldn't have seen in my Freemasons videos, and probably don't really see in a lot of my other videos typically, is what we do in between. I guess you could refer to them as scenes or investigation segments. So a lot of the time when we go to one of these really large buildings that is said to be haunted, we'll kind of try to focus in on a couple of areas that are more active or said to be more haunted, or where we just feel something going on, you know, because we want to capture paranormal evidence. That's like the whole point of this. We'll move from area to area throughout the night, and it is a bit tricky in a large building like this because you kind of need to, if you want to cover a lot of ground, you know, you got to move fast. When we were down in the basement, we were doing the Estes method, and we kind of got to a point where I stopped the session because it almost felt like the spirits were like, okay, we're done here, bye. So I thought, okay, let's stop doing this session and we'll move. Jared and I were like, okay, let's save time because this building's huge and we've got a lot of ground to cover tonight. Let's split up. So I stayed in the basement where I was kind of like packing up all of our camera kit, all of our tools and stuff, while Jared ran upstairs and he was moving one of our stationary SLS ghost tube cameras that we had left set up there to a different location to kind of monitor a different part of the building for a while. So Jared had left me, I was downstairs in the basement, I was alone and I was in the dark. Now, I didn't have a light on, I didn't have a torch, I had nothing on. The room was still illuminated because there's a couple of exit signs in there lit up green. So I could see, but not very well, it was pretty dark. And when I say pack my case, that's my big ghost hunting case. It's a big black clamp sort of thing where I've got all my gadgets. So I was kind of putting all of the stuff that we had taken out back in so that we could get it all together, carry it, move it to the next area we're going to investigate. Then while all this was happening, pretty unexpectedly, I felt something kind of move through my hair and then poke me in the head. Like, it wasn't just my hair moving, it actually touched my skin, like someone literally poked me in the head. Now, it's kind of funny because I was so in my mindset of packing up all my stuff, right? I wasn't really concentrating or expecting anything to happen, and I almost shrugged this off at first. You know, I can't really see around me, but I am in this nice, you know, decorated cafe. I actually, funnily enough, assumed it was like a plant or some kind of decoration next to me that had kind of like hit me in the head and kind of poked me. So I was just concentrating on packing up my case, getting all my stuff together, making sure I hadn't forgotten or lost anything before we moved from the basement. After a little while, I kind of looked next to me to be like, oh, what was that thing that just poked me? And there was nothing there. It was really, really odd. I was actually expecting to see like a plant or something. So I'm about to roll a clip for you guys, and it basically shows my initial reaction to getting poked, because obviously at this time I'm not filming, I don't have a camera rolling, I'm packing up my camera gear to move. Even if the camera was rolling, it's kind of a tricky thing to prove to you all that happened, because it's very like a personal experience, physically feeling something touching you, right? I'm gonna roll the clip and I'm gonna keep it pretty raw so that you see my reaction and what I do, calling out to the spirit, trying to describe what I felt happened to me before, you know, Jared comes back in to meet me. But in the video, I just want to clear something up, because I kind of say it felt like a plant. I thought a plant touched me, you know, like something like a yucca. Now, if you don't know what a yucca is, it's a really bloody pointy plant. But what I meant by saying yucca is it was something that was kind of sturdy and stiff, not like a floppy leaf. Oh my god, I don't know if I'm even explaining this very well. But it had some stiffness to it. So it was literally like someone poking me in the head, someone going like boop. But at the time I just assumed there was something there, like plant with a twig or something, you know, in the way of my head. Anyway, I don't even know if that makes sense, but I'm just gonna roll the clip for you.
Really weird. Is there someone here? Alright guys, so I'm in the basement alone now, literally just because we're packing up to change areas of investigation. So Jared has run upstairs to move the SLS camera, and he's going to move it to a different area while we film. And so I'm just packing up all our stuff. I'm here in the dark, you know, minding my own business, putting all our stuff away down here. And I'm leant over just in this area right here. And I felt something touch my hair, like, and my head. Like, I actually thought there was going to be like an ornamental plant. I know it sounds really weird. Like a plant next to me, like a yucca, which are really stiff, really hard, like poking me in the head. Like, that's what it felt like, and that's what I thought it was. And then I look next to me, there's nothing there. And I'm a little bit creeped out. So I was just here, literally putting stuff in a bag, and I assumed there was like a plant here. And then I just got that really eerie feeling where, like, you know, someone had just poked me in the bloody head. And then I looked, there was no one there, and I was just like, ugh. Doesn't feel so good, feels like there's someone there. And yeah, creeped out, but kind of cool. I've never actually been, like, felt like I've really been touched. So that's a bit of a first. Maybe my hair was like, just fell or something, you know what I mean? I don't know. Is there somebody here? I'm not scared of you. If you like make a noise or something, that would be pretty cool. I can actually see a bit better. Gosh, imagine I look in there, there's someone in there. Really, like, I don't know. Very weird. Did you touch me? Did you poke me in the head? Right there. Oh my god.
Did I miss anything?
I think that I got touched.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you filming it?
No. I was packing up our stuff here.
Yeah.
So I was leaning over, like, putting stuff in the bag, and something, like, touched my hair and poked me in the head.
For real?
Yeah. And I thought, oh, like there must be a plant next to me or something, like a yucca. I know that sounds really weird. And then I looked and there was nothing there. And I was like, what the f***? Did you just touch me? So I started filming, but nothing's happened since I've been filming.
Did you get a ghost tip session running or anything?
No, I've just been filming, but nothing has happened since I've been filming. That's never happened to me before.
That's
like,
cool.
Feeling like I've been touched or something.
Well,
but like, then I'm like, maybe my hair just fell or something. Like, why would a ghost just poke me in the head?
You don't have to. I feel like it's important to debunk in it, but I don't think you need to necessarily rationalize every single thing that happens, because
Well, you gotta try.
you try, but I mean, if you felt like a yucca plant poked you in the head, that's pretty like, that's not like just hair brushing. Like,
Yeah.
yuccas are sharp.
Yeah, I just felt like there must be something there, like it poked me.
So as you can see in the clip, I'm kind of like a little bit creeped out, but excited. And I mean, I still am. I've been looking for ghosts and evidence of the paranormal for years. Like, I have really been chasing this. So it was kind of cool to have something finally like this happen where it's a physical touch. At the same time, I'm trying to be rational about it and stay skeptical. So I don't know what it was that I experienced down there, but it really felt like someone was like, whoop, just poked me in the side of the head, you know. I am trying to stay open with it all. Maybe it was Thomas Fax down there being a cheeky little bugger, like, got you in the head, you know what I mean? So this is all really weird, right? But what I'm about to tell you, things take a turn and they get even weirder. So please stay with me here, watch this video all the way through to get all of the facts before we jump to any conclusions. I do just want to state, I do not believe that there is anything negative or bad going on in the basement. That being said, the next day after filming out and investigating and being touched on the head within this building, this supposedly haunted building, I wake up and I had some really weird anomalies in my vision. And to describe it to you all, it kind of looked like a cluster of black splodges in the side of my vision. So all kind of around here in my vision, I was seeing speckly black blotches, and then every now and then there was some weird light kind of coming in and out of my vision. And obviously this wasn't normal, but I did think, oh, you know, I'll hang out and I'll wait and she'll be right. This will like go away in a few days and it'll clear up on its own. It didn't. So after a few days, I was like, okay, this thing's weird and it's kind of like getting to me in my vision. I'm gonna hop on Dr. Google, which I realize is like a terrible, silly, bad thing to do, but I did it. And what I was reading was like, yeah, this thing in your eye, that could be pretty darn serious. So I went to an eye doctor, they took a look at my eye and they were like, yeah, tear on the retina, there is bleeding and hemorrhaging in your eye. And that was actually what I was seeing. So these black kind of anomalies around here, that was actually my blood in my eyeball. So to kind of get to the bottom of what had happened to my eye, I asked about that and the doctor was like, well, have you flown anywhere recently? Maybe not because of the pandemic. And I was like, nah, haven't flown in over a year. So he's like, okay, it can't be that. Well, what about head trauma? These are normally caused by, you know, being hit in the head or punched in the face or something. I'm like, no, no, I don't recall anything like that. But the night before this all started in my vision, I literally got poked in the head by a ghost. Same side of my head, boop, right here. And now this eye is playing up. Obviously I didn't say that to the doctor because I was like, yeah, this doctor's gonna think I'm some kind of crazy bitch, but you know. And yeah, I do realize, and I know that you're all judging me and you're like, you're crazy, Amy, for even like considering that is what happened to your eye, you know. But it was just so coincidental that boop in the head and then something starts bleeding in my eye the very next day. You know, it really got to me, it really got me thinking, and I know that's like really out there and insane. I did ask the doctor, I was like, well, nothing's happened to me, like why is this going on in my eye? And he said, well, you know, it's just bad luck for you. I'm like, yeah, of course. So from here, I'd only told like a few people about my eye, the issues with my eye and the getting poked in the head by the ghost, obviously because I didn't want everyone thinking that I was lost it, you know. People were like, oh yeah, no, it can't be that. And I was thinking the same thing. But then a little part of you is like, like, actually that is pretty coincidental and kind of weird. But at the same time, I didn't feel anything negative or bad in the basement of this building. That is definitely not the vibe that this place gives off. So I did think maybe it was like the spirit signaling to me, hey, there's something wrong in there. Again, pretty far-fetched and out there, but maybe. So anyway, I get to this eye specialist as soon as I possibly could because I was advised to, because anytime that you've got tears or bleeding on your retina, it could lead to retinal detachment, and that leads to blindness. So I just want to say as well, and if anyone's watching this video and you get something similar, like little floaty bits or anything weird going on in your vision, get it seen to by a doctor as soon as you possibly can. So I get in to see the specialist. It took me over a week to get in. So by this time I've been eye bleeding for like 2 weeks and my anxiety is through the roof. Like health anxiety sucks, guys, and anything to do with my eyes I'm particularly weird and like sensitive about. So I had a lot of anxiety on that. I'd also just got my first pair of prescription glasses because my eyes had deteriorated more than I had realized and knew. So I was like, oh no, like my eyes are very bad. I need seeing eyeglasses now and I'm gonna go blind in this eye and things are gonna be really bad. And I was just overthinking to the max. And yeah, like I was a mess for a while. I don't think like my main channel people would have seen it so much, but I think my patrons and YouTube members got a good dose of it because I post a lot of content over there for them, so they kind of knew what was going on with my eye. And now seeing the specialist was actually really good for me because it gave me a reason as to why my eyeball was bleeding. And no, it wasn't paranormal. It was definitely not caused by like a ghost poking me in the head. Actually, what it was caused by was, I'm probably going to explain this really poorly and not very scientifically, but there was something wrong with the jelly in my eye, I guess. So my retina got stuck. And then because my retina was stuck, it was pulling. And when it pulls, it can like cause tears and blood vessels to kind of hemorrhage and break, hence the bleeding in my eye. It can also lead to retinal detachment if you're quite unlucky. So I was told by the doctor and advised, hey, let's get some laser eye surgery done on that and like you won't really have to worry about it. So I had the laser eye surgery, which isn't really as bad as it sounds. It's not overly invasive or anything like that. My eye should all be fixed up now. I did see some like weird anomalies after the laser surgery and had light sensitivity for a little while, so I couldn't really film for a bit there. And then yeah, I'm still seeing the blood, but apparently my body's gonna absorb that soon and the little speckles will go away, so hanging out for that. The eye is all good. It wasn't caused by trauma, it was caused by my eyeballs, which aren't designed very well, I guess. I'm not sure if it's like a genetic thing or what, because I actually don't know anyone else that has had this kind of issue. But yeah, my eyeballs just aren't designed very well, I guess. Also, like, I don't want you to think that this is some weird ass long drawn out video with no point to it, because like the resolution was like, oh, the eyeball thing wasn't caused by the paranormal. This has really got me thinking and like running a lot of questions through my head, and some which I want to pose to you guys. First off is, has anybody ever been touched by a spirit, a ghost, or something unseen that they couldn't see? Please leave me a comment below, share your experience, and also kind of like what it was like and what it felt like. Now, I also want to know, do you guys believe that a ghost, a spirit, or someone on the other side could give you a warning about a potential health issue? So what I'm thinking is, down there, maybe getting poked in the head wasn't like someone actually hurting me, or like a playful poke, but maybe it was like, hey, there's something going on in here. Do you know what I'm trying to get at? Because where I was poked was like right here, and then when I was having the vision problems, it was on this side, it was this eye, and that was like kind of where I was seeing the blood in my eye. So if you actually believe, yeah, the ghost can like let you know about these health issues, do you think that the spirit world has some kind of knowing, some kind of sense, or are able to kind of visualize and see us in a different way to be able to know and tell these things? So what I'm kind of thinking is, you know, a lot of people say, oh, like I felt something walk right through me, like, you know, as if a ghost passed through me. Like, what is that experience like for the ghost? Do they see you and walk through you? Can they like see you in x-ray vision? Could they see the bleeding in my eye and like try to point it out? You know, maybe I'm going crazy thinking about all this. Now, the other thing that I started thinking about was, why in the heck would a ghost poke me in the head? And I actually think I said this in the video clip I showed you guys earlier, like, why would a ghost just be there and poke you in the head? Is it like a funny kind of playful thing? Were they trying to tell me or signal something to me, which seems a little bit more meaningful than just like, I'm poking you in the head. So I don't know, there's all these questions that I've got going on. Maybe my issues with my eye and the bleeding and all that is totally unrelated and just a complete coincidence and not even related to the poke in the head. Maybe the poke in the head wasn't even paranormal. Maybe it was a sign from the other side. I do not know. Now, I have heard about people receiving warnings or like signs from the other side, loved ones coming to warn them about something that's going to happen in their future, whether it's good or bad or negative. And normally it is family members and loved ones coming to visit someone. I haven't actually heard or can't think off the top of my head where it's, you know, a paranormal investigator going somewhere that is haunted, being warned by a spirit there who doesn't really know them on any personal level. That's not to say like maybe whoever poked me in the head was maybe more related to me than that building. I mean, I don't know. These are just a lot. There's a lot going through my head about this incident, as you guys might be able to tell. But yeah, please share your thoughts on any one of those questions or any beliefs or anything that you have that kind of go in line with this in the comments below, because I seriously, like, I need to read some of that. Maybe the whole point of this video is like, I've just lost my marbles. I don't know. Either way, guys, like, I'm so excited about the videos that I filmed at the Freemasons. I would love to go back there and visit one day. It was amazing, and who knows what could happen to me next time. If you guys are in Adelaide or anyone's interested in the Freemasons, I'm gonna link their website below. If you want to visit this building for yourself, I recommend it. It is bloody gorgeous. Now, they do historical tours through the Grand Lodge of the Freemasons if you are in Adelaide. You might wanna definitely check their website though, because, you know, COVID has put a pause to a lot of tours and such of that kind of nature. But they do have, the cafe is open to the public until 3 p.m. like every day. They also do like jazz nights and stuff down there. It's a really cool, funky place to kind of visit and go have a coffee, say hi to them, say hi to the ghosts. And don't worry, like, I don't think there's anything negative or bad going on down there. Maybe you'll get poked in the head by the ghost, but that's all cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to do more reading about the Freemasons building, head to my website, AmysCrypt.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm at AmysCrypt, and I also post bonus content on my YouTube memberships and my Patreon, which are linked below. But thank you so much for watching, Crypt Keepers. Until next time.